Now, why should a science and engineering institute focus on developing leadership? Well, at MIT, we feel a responsibility to use our distinctive skills to take on the world's great challenges. Clean energy, the environment, climate change, smart cities and sustainable transportation, the global crises in water, food, and healthcare, the future of communications and computing. Responding to these urgent challenges demands the fearless problem-solving abilities of the very best engineers we can educate. But, as has always been the case, superb engineering isn't enough to solve the world's most pressing problems. The problems of the future will be solved by complex, multidisciplinary teams that must make swift decisions in the face of staggering uncertainty. Finding real-world answers in real time will require command of policy, social context, and the political process as well. In short, to solve the challenges of the 21st century, the world needs leaders.
In the last several decades, in many schools, there's been an emphasis on more and more about less and less. And there are very few people today who are able to wrap their arms around a very complex product with the various disciplines and come up with a solution. And those people that can do it are the leaders.
We need to think about how do you actually lead an engineering project, and more importantly, how do you develop in young people the ability when it comes to a real engineering project?
It's preparing students with the skills of leadership, of social responsibility that will allow them to not only be the thought leaders of the future, but the do leaders of the future.
When you run an engineering project in industry, it's not enough to have a good idea. You need to convince other people that that's a good idea. You need to get a budget for it. You need to find customers for it. You need to make it real.
Engineers need to know how to lead a team so that we can keep driving the innovation and the technology within our country.
The world is not fair. When you're really working in industry, stuff happens and you have to deal with it.
In the real world, the best technology doesn't always win. Even the best idea rarely succeeds on its merits alone. To rally a diverse team of colleagues, to persuade skeptical funders, to truly deliver innovative solutions to humanity's great shared problems, we must educate tomorrow's engineers to be tomorrow's engineering leaders.
I'm Iklaq Sidhu. I'm a professor here at UC Berkeley, and I'm chief scientist and founder of the Fung Institute for Engineering Leadership. Our experiences with working with engineers, engineering directors, and so many of the leading technology firms is that sometimes there are problems. Disagreement between different people within the organization. Sometimes there's lots of activity and creativity, but not necessarily new products or the right products coming out of the organization. Sometimes there's technology strategies that are misaligned. Sometimes there's team morale issues. Let's take e-ink as an example. This is a very famous technology innovation case. It's a technology that came out of MIT, 26 patents. What you might not know about this company is that in the years approximately from 1997 to 2005, the company raised and spent $120 million to commercialize this technology. And in that time, there were many missteps, many adjustments, and the net effect was that by that point in the history, all of the investors were really washed out or diluted, and the employees had put a lot of hard work into it and did not have that much to show in terms of financial return for the company. I have sat down with engineering leaders at all kinds of leading companies at Facebook and Google and Applied Materials and Cisco and Network Appliances and Samsung and a long list of really the world's best technology firms, and they all will recognize these as patterns, as real problems that come up while they are trying to innovate. What can a firm do to overcome these types of problems that that fundamentally affect the firm's ability to innovate? These are the questions that we help engineering leaders understand.